Good morning, Dexter Lake. I'm Justin. I'm the youth pastor here at Dexter Lake. This is another day of our 365 devotional series. I wanted to take a moment and talk about Jonah. I was doing a message on Jonah with our youth group, and just going through that story, there was something that really stuck out to me and spoke to me. If you'll remember the story of Jonah, Jonah was called by God to go to the city of Nineveh and preach. For the people in Nineveh had grown extremely wicked and rebellious from God. So God wanted Jonah to go there and preach to them so that they could be saved. Well, Jonah didn't want to do that. Jonah had no intention of doing that. He didn't seem to like the Ninevites. Scholars believe that Jonah, because Jonah was an Israelite and the Ninevites were Assyrians, that they kind of had beef because the Assyrians had really bothered the Israelites for a long time. So, to finish off the story, if you don't remember, Jonah ran away from God, got on a boat. He was trying to flee the opposite direction. God caused a storm. They threw him off the boat reluctantly, and he was swallowed by a giant fish or a whale. Jonah was in the whale for 3 days. He repented, and then the whale spit him out on the shore of Nineveh. So Jonah had a change of heart and went to Nineveh and preached to the people in Nineveh. They listened, and God spared the city. There's just some things that really stood out to me with this story upon reading it again, is just the simple fact that Jonah really didn't want to go to Nineveh. He was called to go to Nineveh. He was talented, and he had the skills required to go and preach to Nineveh. He was a prophet, but he didn't want to do it. He let some things get in the way of God's calling. And I feel like sometimes in our modern world, in our modern church world, sometimes we let things get in the way of our calling. I think we will do anything that we enjoy doing, but the minute something doesn't feel right or doesn't feel good, or it's uncomfortable, we say, well, that must not be of God. We tend to lean toward our calling toward comfortable things. But here we have a clear example in the Bible of somebody who did not want to do something. It was something uncomfortable for them, something they just did not want to do, and God still called them to do it. And because of it, because Jonah was obedient, an entire city was spared the wrath of God, and so many lives were saved. So I want to challenge you this morning. It's not always, our calling isn't always going to be something we love. Our calling isn't always going to be something that we are super excited about. Sometimes it's serving in a really modest way. Sometimes it's being called into something extremely uncomfortable. I think a lot of times our calling should kind of scare us and make us wonder how we'll ever get it done. I want to share, it's Galatians 6:9-10. It says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all people, especially those who belong to the family of believers." So I want to encourage you this morning to not grow weary in doing good. You might be called to do something that is difficult, that you don't want to do, and that makes you feel like, maybe even not happy with that present circumstance. But when we're obedient, God can do amazing things through us in our obedience. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you.